Welcome to the Points Diva channel. I'm Crystal, aka the Points Diva, and I'm all about traveling to the edges of the world, all on points and miles. In this video, I'm gonna take you along on a mommy-daughter girls trip to Martha's Vineyard. So it was a few of us that went. We went to Cape Cod for the day. We explored the island, and we just really had a really great, relaxed trip. Keep watching, so I show you how I did it on the low. And please hit that like and subscribe button. So currently on the ferry heading to Martha's Vineyard. We arrived at the Boston airport super early this morning. Took an hour and a half ride to the ferry or to the port. Our group did hire a private driver. I think we paid around like $150 per person for like 8 people. So just be mindful of that cost. And it also could have been because of the size of the vehicle. I think we're going in like the low season, so right after, literally the weekend after Labor Day. So it's not busy at all. Really mild temperature. I'm excited to see what Martha's Vineyard has in store for this girls' weekend trip. If you come during high season, definitely book your ferry ticket in advance. The cantina on board offered hot and cold food options, alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverages, and snacks. I'm sure during high season, the ferries get pretty packed. Once the whistle blew, we pulled off right on time. I found a quiet table by a window to get some work done. So it appears that we are approaching the dock, and that was actually a really comfortable, quiet, peaceful, relaxing journey. It was only maybe 45 minutes. The tickets were $10 and highly recommend. I was able to get some work done. They have obviously lounge chairs with tables, outdoor seating, so not a bad to roll. Oh, and then down below is the area for cars. So you can drive your car in, and people I guess are parking their cars and then getting out and coming in this area. So I'm gonna see if I can find the Obamas. I know they're probably maybe a little busy right now because it's during the election season, but you know, just for an old friend, maybe just ring their doorbell and just say, hey, I'm in town, what's up? Right, okay, let's go. It is a gorgeous afternoon. We just arrived in Martha's Vineyard. So excited about what this weekend has to hold. We do have a itinerary, but I also use ChatGPT to find some other little things for my mom and I to kind of maybe break away from the group a little bit and do our own thing sometimes. So it's just gonna be relaxing and maybe a little turn up. We'll see, you never know. These mamas are kind of wild. So, and this mama don't have kids with her, so I may take it back to my 99, 2000 days. I'm not gonna show y'all everybody because they don't have their lipstick on yet.
That's right.
So everybody not cute yet, okay? But the glow up is coming. So my cousin Erica, who I actually just met on this trip, planned this trip, and our grandmothers are first cousins. So y'all know in the South, you pretty much cousins with everybody.
That's right.
We have arrived in this cute little town, and we're gonna see what we're gonna get into the rest of the day. And that's my mommy. We Ubered from the ferry to our Airbnb in Tisbury. This area was only a 10-minute drive from Oak Bluffs, so I definitely recommend staying in this area. For lodging on the island, most people stay in private rentals that are booked up to 1 year in advance. Because we came the week after Labor Day, we had more affordable options and only booked a few months out. This 4-bedroom house was spacious, modern, and clean.
Keep your head up, Charlie.
After we kind of all relaxed, got to know each other a little bit better, we are heading to a recommended restaurant called Nancy's. Unfortunately, we were not able to make a reservation, so we're getting here pretty early, which, you know, it's fine because I think we all have been up since probably like 4 o'clock, maybe even earlier, because our flight was at like 6. Let's go.
Waiting for a come up.
Nancy's is an island staple and includes great views and busy crowds. The menu included none other than the New England clam chowder, fresh seafood, and typical American food. I ordered the lobster roll and a margarita that was way too sweet. So we just left Nancy's for dinner. The consensus on this restaurant was it was just okay. However, it is beautiful for the views. So if you want to see the sunset, if you want to have a good little cocktail, more so like wine or beer, I would definitely say come to this place. But yeah, the food was kind of just okay. The service was just okay. I'll remember me saying these ladies were ready to party. They definitely were, and I was ready to go to bed. Overall, it was a great first day and even better sunset. All right, I was finally able to get out and about. I had a little bit of work to do this morning, and the rest of the crew, they did just a tour of the island. But the good thing is I was able to meet a local and my Uber driver, and she was really sweet. Her name was Haley, so shout out to Haley if you watch this video, girl. I hope you find your man in Scotland. She basically gave me the rundown on the island. She said obviously that, you know, the island has always been, you know, pretty well off, especially even more after COVID, because you had a bunch of rich New Yorkers that came down and basically bought like these $5 million homes, like super expensive homes, and then the prices just skyrocketed. She said there are a few buildings like this one right here, this old theater that's owned by a family, and they own like a bunch of property here, and they just left it to just, you know, be deserted and run down. I was like, man, this is crazy. It's like in the heart of Oak Bluff. But she's like, yeah, you know, they just have a bunch of property and don't do anything with it. But she said for people like herself who actually grew up here, a lot of them move away because it's not affordable. But, you know, the good part of that is their families own homes here, so they're able to pass it down to them, which, you know, will be a big help for her and all of that. And I'm not going to tell too much of her business, but it was just good to kind of hear, you know, from a local's perspective on the island. You haven't been to Martha's Vineyard if you haven't been to Flying Horses. This place is in the heart of Oak Bluffs and is the oldest carousel in the US. I even got an unexpected free ride. So this was an interesting little stop. So these carousel horses were originally constructed in 1876, and they have been in Martha's Vineyard since 1884. Obviously, it needed to be restored, but Oak Bluffs, I guess, community, they were able to do that. But normally the rides are $4, but after Labor Day weekend, it's free. You just hop on and they give you a free little ride. So that was cute. I am just walking around Oak Bluff, and I finally found somewhere to get some coffee. And y'all, I don't normally drink coffee. However, ever since Aspen was born, I literally have to have coffee like every day. And I've been having like a horrible headache, and I think it's because I haven't had coffee in like 2 or 3 days. So I hope that's not the reason, but we'll see once I get this hit in my veins. But I'm trying to wait for my mom and the other ladies to have lunch, but they are taking too long. I'm ready to like be social, go to like a little bar, have a cocktail, have something good to eat, mingle. Okay, but they are taking too long. Since they were taking too long, I popped into a busy restaurant and ordered some mahi tacos with sweet potato fries. These were quite tasty and around $20 US. One thing that I noticed about Martha's Vineyard, it is so colorful and liberal. So you wouldn't think, because of, I guess, the history of the Kennedys, even though they have like their own island compound, but it is very liberal and I love it. This is so interesting. I have never seen this before, but can I say these stores are very much aware of what's going on, and I love it. Being the good daughter that I am, who is the child of a shopaholic, I went into a bunch of stores ahead of time and brought the ladies back to the stores with the best sales. Afterwards, my mom and I wanted to explore the island more, and the best way to do that is on the local bus. So my mother and I are on the bus. She's in her happy place. She would be even more in her happy place if she could find like a Ross or TJ Maxx or Burlington. But the cost was $4 for me and $2 for my mother since she's a senior citizen.
I'm seasoned.
They said senior citizen, and you gladly took that $2 discount. So we going to the next town to see what we can get into, because we're not ready to go back to the house. We're hitting these, what's it called, Ben Haven?
Yes.
Ben Haven Street. Let's go. Later that night, we went to the other side of the island to Nomans for a hip-hop party with live DJ. I had so much fun dancing. What I loved and was surprised by was how diverse and casual this place was. You had black people dancing and white people shuffling, but everybody shared the same appreciation for the early 2000 classics. We all danced the whole night. Good morning. This is our last full day in the Vineyard, and my mother and I, are heading to Cape Cod for the day. So I use our handy tools that are available to us for free, which is ChatGPT, to create a little half-day itinerary. And basically, I just put in create a Martha's Vineyard itinerary on a Saturday to Cape Cod, leaving at around noon. So it spit out a few little things for us to do, like which ferry to take, what to do once you get off the ferry, some restaurant recommendations, some stores, lighthouse, an aquarium. So we're just gonna get there and just kind of pick and choose what we want to do and just go with the flow, because I feel like we've kind of exhausted what to see in Martha's Vineyard, because we did come after Labor Day, so there really aren't any activities to do outside of shopping, tours, and eating. So I was like, let's just take a day trip over to Cape Cod. Oh, I was looking at Cape Cod and Nantucket. Nantucket is like an hour and 10 minutes away, and then Cape Cod was 45 minutes away. So I was like, let's just do that. So let's go. Waiting on the Uber. Oh, quick tip, y'all. If you can, drive, rent a car like in Boston, put it on the ferry, come over to the island, because Ubers are crazy expensive. Like, we are paying at least $20 between $20 and $50 to go like 15 minutes. So that is quickly adding up. Thankfully, it's a good amount of us that we're able to split that cost, but the Ubers are making money here. Some of the Uber drivers are saying how they come to the island for the summer to be an Uber driver, and then they go back home like all over the US, because it's so much money to be made as an Uber driver here. So definitely drive, rent a car if you can. Let's go to Cape Cod. So we just made the ferry, and it was so funny because I asked the lady, what time does the ferry leave? She said 12 o'clock. So it's like 10 minutes till. As soon as we got on, the guy like put the gate behind us. I was like, oh, so you guys are waiting on us? He's like, yep, let's go. $10 each way if you are 65 and older. I believe she said it's like $6.50, because again, my mother did ask. So they quickly shut her down and said, no ma'am, for this ferry you're not a senior citizen. So yeah, we're gonna Cape Cod for the day, and look at this amazing view. ChatGPT didn't give us much of an itinerary for this small island. Our first stop was to the Nobska Lighthouse. This was a highlight for my mom though, because she loves lighthouses. It was closed, so we just took in the outside scenery. We are currently in Falmouth area of Cape Cod, and this is such a cute little area. So also, if you're in the market for some art, this little doggy here, crawling baby, it's only $9,000 US. And this piece here, $33,000. And then you have this swinging Jenny for only $45,000. So let me know. Hit that like and subscribe button if you're interested. Okay, for those that are interested, it looks like price range is around $565 to an $11 million estate. $599 for, it looks like probably maybe a 3-bedroom, 2-bath type of a home. $770. So not too bad. $775 for this humble home. So if you were interested in living in this place, but quite frankly, it's actually more of a, I think, retirement place. Not quite my type of retirement style. It's just really quaint and cute and really quiet. It almost feels like, my mom said, it feels like we're in a library to where we have to whisper, because it's just so quiet and just peaceful. I said my kids being here would be extremely loud, so I don't think this is necessarily a place for them, but it's a really nice place to do a day trip or half a day trip. We popped into Anejo Mexican Bistro for lunch. Y'all, the food and cocktails here were bomb. My mom had shrimp ceviche and I had shrimp tacos. After one drink, my mom was done. I would come all the way to Cape Cod just for the food and cocktails here. We almost missed this ferry, y'all. My mother is all about walking, and then we were like, it's like everywhere just took 20 minutes walking, and then took forever to get oh my gosh, y'all, this is a lot, but thankfully we are making this ferry. But then I told her, I said, well, let's make sure we are catching the right ferry. But I did an Uber. Why did the Uber say it was like $100 for like a 10-minute ride? We are where we are supposed to be somewhat. Yeah, that Uber said $100. But just by chance, I just kept trying to like refresh the Uber app. And finally I found one, I think it said like $15. And then he was there in like 4 minutes. It was like a Tesla. And it was Uber Comfort and it was a Tesla. But yeah, for $15. But just be mindful when you come into Cape Cod. But other than that, I'll say a few things about Cape Cod. It's very private. Like it's a private island. I noticed like the beaches said private or members only, guests only. So I don't think this is a place where you can just like come and just enjoy the beach. They don't have a lot of like hotels. It looks like it's like motels and private residents. So I could see how the beaches would be private because of that. So I think this is like a day trip type of thing. Like spend a couple of hours and then get back to where you actually supposed to be. The most iconic thing to see and do back in Martha's Vineyard is tour the colorful Victorian cottages in Oak Bluff, better known as the Gingerbread houses. This is built in 1864, built in 1854, I think that says. Oh my gosh, these are just the cutest little things. I can only imagine the upkeep. But look at that. The purple house there. So I did try to look to see how much some of these would cost, even though I'm pretty sure it's not even for sale. These are like truly generational homes, but each house has a name. And you'll even see some of them have like at the door like a gingerbread I guess gate, so you can basically not just walk up on their patio. But they're so pretty. Beyond the sea, it's just so quaint and pretty. This is our last day, and our Airbnb made us take out all the trash, strip the beds, wash the clothes. I'm like, wait a minute now, but folks is ready to go. I would say 4 days was great because it was too cold to go to the beach. So without the beach, we pretty much just shopped, went to a few restaurants, and like I said, I did a day trip over to Cape Cod, and then that was it. Like the island is actually kind of small, so if you're pretty active, you know, it's not like a lot of clubs or a lot of different excursions. I mean, I guess maybe we could have done like a boat tour, but yeah, I think 4 days was just enough for us, for our group. And I really cannot wait to come back with my family. I want to definitely bring Mr. O, bring the kiddos. I would definitely come back when it's warmer, because if I bring them, they're gonna want to get in the water. But overall, highly recommend. Some suggestions: you definitely need to bring cash. I think I took out like $200. Just a few places did not accept cash. But yeah, the ferry tickets are like $10. I do recommend buying round trip, because a few times we were like running and we would not have had time to get our ferry ticket if we didn't have a round trip. Oh, definitely a rental car. I highly recommend renting a car in Boston before you get to the island and just parking or bringing your car. Like these cars are waiting to get onto the ferry, because the Uber rides, I mean, that's actually where I spent the most money. Not on food, not on alcohol. I can't wait to see what my Uber bill is. I'll put it down below. But yeah, highly recommend. Hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe.